Night for Proctor.
Okay, so we got the starting lineup
Number
coming
12,
for Proctor.
McCarran.
So we got Gannon McCarran, number 12, a junior guard. Probably do a lot of their ball handling.
21, junior, Logan Landon.
Logan Landon, a junior,
Number
who worked
3,
down in the post
senior,
for him.
Nick Swain.
And Nick Swain, who
13,
came over to Proctor
senior,
from Rutland
Kyle
last year.
Miles.
He was on the
And
Dream
number
Dozen.
22, senior, Curtis Tomlinson.
You got
Proctor's
senior
coached
Kyle
by
Miles
Shaky,
and senior
assisted by
Curtis
Proctor
Tomlinson.
Ricky.
And for the Golden Horde,
And now for your West Rutland Golden Horde.
we got our normal starting lineup.
Number 3, sophomore, Jacob Bartlett.
Jacob Bartlett, sophomore, playing a 2.
Number 21, junior, Francis Grabowski.
Francis Grabowski playing a 3.
Number 5, junior, Jacob Dow.
Jacob Dow, the workhorse, running the point.
Number 32, junior, Brian Maxim.
Brian Maxim, big man.
And number 33,
Rutland.
senior, Zachary Trepanier.
And the lone senior in the starting lineup for West
West
Rutland,
is
Zach
coached by
Trepanier.
Don Duncan Jr., assisted by, again, his father, Don Duncan Sr.
And we're going to have the national
Please stand
anthem
for the
sung by
national anthem,
Casey
sung
Serrani.
by West Rutland student, Casey Serrani.
And as tradition, the JV boys jump in to help Casey finish the song, which always makes it sound a little bit worse. So, a lot of excitement, very big crowd here in West Rutland for this matchup of Division IV opponents. West Rutland's coming into this game at a 5-2 record. 2 losses coming to Bellows Falls and Sharon Academy. Proctor Phantoms come in with a 6-1 record, and their lone loss came to MSJ in their tournament to be in their Division II power. So get ready for the tap, Landon against Maxim, and both of them miss it on the way up. The tap gets won by the Phantoms, and Tomlinson will be coming up across the timeline. Tomlinson with the ball, gets over to Swain. Swain finds McCarran, McCarran over to Tomlinson. Tomlinson, big skip over to Swain. Swain with the 3, no good. Rebound out to Jacob Dow brings the ball up across the timeline. Looks like Proctor's gonna run man, and West Rutland's gonna look to run zone, run the high pick and roll. Fires the ball back to Maxim, goes through his hands, gets to Bartlett, back to Dow, who dribbles it back up to reset the offense. Maxim, or Dow calling out the play, gets the ball to Maxim in the corner, puts the ball on the deck, forces the pass up to Bartlett. Bartlett gives it to Trepanier. Trepanier hand off to Maxim, gets it to Grabowski. Grabowski hand off to Trepanier, looks to shoot, brings the ball down. Get a pass. Maxim, a lot of contact. Maxim comes down with the rebound, gets it out to Trippier. Gets it to Dow. Grabowski back to Dow. Rutland looking to set up their offense. Jacob Dow gets the ball over to Maxim in the corner, takes a couple dribbles, and tries to go up for the shot, gets blocked from both sides. Up to Tomlinson. Tomlinson up, but is fouled by Grabowski. So Tomlinson's going to go to the line to shoot 2. First team foul, first player foul on Grabowski. First one for Tomlinson. Yeah, Tomlinson is good. Doesn't spend a lot of time at the line. He get that ball and put it up immediately. Takes a 1 dribble and puts it right up. Second one rattles in and out. And last touch by the Golden Horde. So it's going to be Proctor's ball underneath. Miles to put the ball in play. Miles throws it out to Tomlinson. Tomlinson, a little stutter step. Back into the lane to Landon. Landon out to McKieran. McKieran's shot is long. Landon picks it up. It's picked up by Bartlett. Bartlett over to Landon. Landon up for the basket. 3-0. Proctor. There's some full court press going. McKieran checking Dow, but Dow's able to push him up across the timeline. Get the 5-second count going on him. Gets the ball to Grabowski in the corner. Comes off a screen. Gets a hedge, gets over to Trippier. Trippier gets it over to Bartlett in the corner. Bartlett works off a screen, back to Trippier. Trippier takes a dribble, gets caught up in the corner. The ball stolen by Swain, and Bartlett picks up the foul in the backcourt, trying to pull it away. So team foul 2 on West Rutland, 3-0, 5:47. So the ball's going to be put in play. A little bit of contact there. I think Bartlett was trying to sell a foul. Tomlinson gets it over McKieran. McKieran to Miles. Miles, big skip pass to Swain. Swain over to Tomlinson. Tomlinson back to McKieran. Swain back to McKieran. Over to... The ball's in the play. That last 3-pointer was made by Tomlinson. Dave Dow pushes it up across the timeline, gets it to Johnson. Johnson brings it back to him. Gets it over to Jordan Johnson. Jordan Johnson holding, gets it to Grabowski. Grabowski over to Bartlett. Bartlett to Dow. Looking to work the offense, move the ball around the outside. The Phantoms are a good defensive team. Ball goes into Maxim, out to Johnson. Johnson high off the glass, no good. And Swain comes down with the rebound, pushes it forward to McKieran. McKieran back out to Swain. Swain into Landon. Landon driving. Jordan Johnson sticks his hand in, makes him get rid of the ball, gets it into Landon. Landon driving again. Up, off the glass, no good. Good post defense by Maxim to force Landon into his offhand. Grab the rebound, 6-0. Phantoms leading. Golden Horde. Up and off the backboard by Jacob Dow. Nice drive by Jacob. Smooth lefty up off the glass. Gets it to Curtis. Tomlinson. Tomlinson gets it over to Gannon McKieran. McKieran gets the ball back. Gets it over. That ball is off the rim, no good. Jacob Dow rips another defensive rebound. Fires it over top to Jordan Johnson. Jordan Johnson misses the layup. Ball's thrown forward. Maxim gets a lot of arm there, but no call. Great hustle play. I think Maxim was looking to foul him, and they didn't call him, so no harm, no foul, I guess is what they say. Johnson gets the ball to Grabowski. Francis gets the ball on the deck, gets it over to Dow in the corner. Back to Grabowski. Deep 3, and that is good. So 6-5. Proctor Phantoms, and we get a steal by Jake Bartlett on an errant pass by Logan Landon. Logan Landon gets a piece of that. Jacob Dow in the right spot. Grabowski deep again. Roof would have come off this place if that would have gone in, I think. McKieran gets his pocket picked by Bartlett. Bartlett stops and pops. And that's wide of everything. Logan Landon hustling. Nice hustle play by Logan Landon. Fires it back over to McKieran. McKieran being worked by Bartlett. Kicks over to Miles. Miles for the three. And that is good. McKieran's working on Dow, but he goes right by him. Gets it back out to Dow. Trying to settle things down. 9-5. 9-5. Proctor Phantoms in the lead. Bartlett with the ball. Goes by Swain, kicks it back out to Grabowski. Grabowski with the three again. No good. Jacob Dow, Jacob Dow, good timing. Leak out by Miles. Miles up off the glass and good. So that was a fight to see who was going to call a timeout because Dunches was going to step out and do that. So we're going to stay here. Pretty frantic excitement, some turnovers, some fast break opportunities. 11-5 lead for the Phantoms right now. The Phantoms look to leak out on every shot, and Miles leaked out on that one. Nobody was paying attention to him. We got a pretty easy layup. So I think the Golden Horde need to realize that their top guy is going to release on those shots. I think he was the one that was actually on Grabowski and floated down the. So I'm guessing that the Phantoms are going to come out with their full court press again. Get some new players coming in for the Phantoms. Nick Ojala checks into the game. And also have Andre Greb checking into the game. So Jacob Dow just dribbled the ball off Swain's foot, but gets called. Missed call there by the official down on the end line. They trapped him in that corner and the dribble went off Claire's foot. Kicked out to Tomlinson. Good close on Dow. Over to Swain, over to Ojala in the corner, puts it into Greb. Greb goes up, shot's no good. Second attempt is good. Jake Bartlett looking to push the ball. Transfers to Grabowski, takes his eyes off the ball. So 13-5, Proctor Phantoms lead. The press is getting the Golden Horde a little bit out of their game. Normally you can get the ball into Dow and he's able to break it, but the ball was forced into Bartlett's hand. Went back to Grabowski and lost it. Greb travels in the lane, catches the ball, shuffles his feet. So the ball is turned over to the Golden Horde. See how they're going to break the trap here. They get the ball in. Grabowski out to Bartlett, and Greb fouls him at the half-court line. So it looked like they figured out how they were going to break it that time. Greb tried coming through the steal and got a lot of the body on Bartlett. So the ball is thrown into the backcourt to Jacob Dow, being guarded by Nick Ojala now. He just brings it up across the timeline. Gets it over to Bartlett. Bartlett looking to work on Swain. Goes by Swain, steps through, up off the glass and good. Overplaying the pass, and he was able to get all the way to the hoop for a nice right-handed finish. The lefty finishes with. Jacob Dow makes Ojala pick the ball up, kicks over McKieran. McKieran fires it around, gets it into Greb, and another travel by Greb. Last two possessions, Greb's got the ball in the lane and he shuffled his feet. So Nick Swain's going to come out of the game, and Braden Fox will check in for him. Ball's put into play to Jake Bartlett. Jake Bartlett goes right by the press, gets to the middle of the court, gets it to Jordan Johnson, kicks it back out to Grabowski. He puts it on the deck, drives through, and Tomlinson runs through a block and gets called for the push. So 2 team fouls for both teams. 13-7, Proctor Phantoms in the lead. 1:10 to go here in the first quarter. Pretty frantic pace to this game right now. Francis Grabowski gets the ball in the play to Maxim. Puts the ball on the deck against Greb. Goes to the hoop. Dishes off to Bartlett. He dumps it up and in. Nice find by Maxim. Gets surrounded by Phantoms. And Bartlett just man on the spot. Drops in a nice little one-handed floater over the rim. So 13-9. Gannon McKieran being worked by Jacob Dow. Kicks over to Fox. Fox with the three. That's no good. Grabs a rebound. Goes up. That's no good. Jordan Johnson grabs the rebound. Jacob Dow pushes the ball up across the timeline. 38 seconds to go. Crosses up Ojala, gets it over to Jake Bartlett. Jake Bartlett gets the ball stripped by Ojala. Goes in, up and good. Before the 5-second call, we got a hold on red. So 5-second call is about to go, and the 5-second call. So looking to get the ball in play. And throws the ball off from Curtis Tomlinson's legs. So Grabowski is going to inbound the ball again. The Proctor pressure here is causing some problems. Gets the ball in the play, gets it to Maxim, gets it back to Grabowski. One way of eliminating that is take a speedy player that's being guarded by somebody a little bit slower. Jacob Dow pulls Nick Ojala all the way over, and a hand check on Ojala, who immediately complains about it. It's one thing that will bode well for us is if they call those. Proctor plays high pressure defense all over the court, and the hand checks are going to be called. That will help West Rutland out. Francis Grabowski fires the ball up from a long range. Brian Maxim tries to hustle to get it. 2 seconds. 2 seconds to go. Probably should put a little bit of pressure on him to make him fire something full court. Get it to McKieran. McKieran jacks up the long three, high off the glass and no good. At the end of the first quarter, 15-9, the Phantoms in the lead. Pretty good quarter from both teams. We're going to take a quick timeout so I can get a breather from all that action. Okay, we're back to action. Reset the players. You got Dow, Grabowski, Bartlett, Maxim, and Johnson on the court for West Rutland. Ojala, McKieran, Swain, Miles, and Landon on the court for the Phantoms. West Rutland runs the play to perfection. Jordan Johnson a little bit high with that pass on the cut by Bartlett. So West Rutland still playing their zone, but putting a little bit of pressure and trying to force Proctor to use a little bit of energy, bringing the ball up across the line. Ball's thrown into Miles. Miles back out to Ojala, takes a dribble, goes flying in. And got Dow, but if he got Dow, you would think that would have been on the floor because that was when he made his move. Ojala will go to the line to shoot 2. First team foul on Jacob Dow. First one is up, rattles around and drops through. 16-9, 7:38 to go in the second quarter. Ojala one more. The ball's up, and that one is good. The ball gets put into play to Jacob Dow. Jacob Dow goes back to Grabowski, gets pushed down the sideline, gets it to Maxim. Maxim gets stripped from behind by Ojala. And Ojala draws the contact from Dow. And he's going to go back to the line. So 17-9. Ojala back to the line to shoot 2. First one's up. That one is good. Second attempt for Ojala. That one's short, tipped around. Comes back to Ojala. Johnson, defense on him, makes him kick it back up to Ojala. Back to McKieran. McKieran puts it on the bounce. Ojala drives, runs into some players. I don't think they wanted to call 3 fouls in a row there on West Rutland. So Dow brings the ball up across the timeline, gets it to Francis Grabowski, gets it to Jordan Johnson. Jordan Johnson dribbling, being guarded by Miles. Gets it to Grabowski, being guarded by Swain. Gets it over to Bartlett. Bartlett throws it back. So that ball was deflected on the pass, but they say it was last touch West Rutland. So the ball's going to go over to the Proctor Phantoms. Thompson came into the game on that last change of possession, and Fox also came in, I think. Ball's thrown into Landon. Landon draws the foul on Maxim. So 5 team fouls on the Golden Horde at this point. First on Maxim. Miles throws the ball in to Thomason. Thomason with a little jumper in the lane. Ball gets into Jacob Dow, being guarded by Thomason now. Putting the taller, lankier guard on Dow. Going to set up their play. Kicks it over to Grabowski, Willie Grabowski that is. Nice backdoor cut by Jacob Dow, gets it out to Maxim. Maxim's long with his jumper, no good. Fox brings the ball down. Brings it across the timeline, gets it over to Thomason. Thomason looks to the inside, but nothing's there. Kicks it back over to Fox. Fox kicks it over to Thomason. Thomason's going to go up with the 3. Shot's no good. Over to Swain, up with the 3. That shot's no good. And we got a battle. Logan, Landon, Brian Maxim. Landon's able to knock it out to Thomason. Thomason throws the ball in. So, thought they said kick ball on red, but apparently it's a kick ball on white because red's going to inbound it. So the ball's thrown in up top to Thomason, over to Fox, who kicks it into Landon. Landon goes up and is good. A lot of contact there, no call. Gets it over to Grabowski. William Grabowski brings it up across the timeline, hands it off to older brother Francis. 22-9. Golden Horde with possession of the ball. Kicks the ball to Maxim in the corner, puts it on the deck, comes off the screen, puts it up, rattles around but doesn't fall. Miles with the rebound, gets it to Swain. Swain comes up across the timeline. Takes off from the foul line, or takes off from the 3-point line with a lot of steps and no call. Was able to go up and score. So 24 to 9 is the score. Full timeout by West Rutland. We are going to take a pause. So we're back in action here. 24-9, 4:48 to go in the second quarter. Proctor just subbed again on that last timeout and put in 2 new guys. They're going to probably run full court press the entire game. Gets the ball into Bartlett. Bartlett with Ojala on him. Dribbles up. Gets across the timeline without much of a problem. A lot of contact up top from Ojala, knocks the ball away. Bartlett dives on it, but had nobody to go to. So held possession, goes back to Proctor. Ojala brings the ball up across the timeline, throws it over to Thomason. Thomason kicks it up to McKieran, over to Ojala, back to McKieran. McKieran over. Looks like they're running 4 out, 1 in here. Looking to open up the 3-point lane with Logan Landon. And that foul on Curtis Thomason's shot on William Grabowski. Basket's good. So he's going to go to the line to try finishing the 3-point play. 26-9. This game's kind of gotten away. Golden Horde have not scored in this quarter. Started the quarter with 9, so almost 4-minute drought without points. Grabowski grabs the rebound off the miss by Thomason. So one way of not having the press get set up is a missed basket. They just drop back on D. So Bartlett being guarded by Ojala again. Gets the ball over to Maxim. Maxim to William Grabowski. William Grabowski puts it on the deck. Dribble drive, gets it back over to Grabowski, gets it into Francis Grabowski, back out to little brother Willie. Hits Maxim in the post. Nice move by Maxim, up, no good. Shots just aren't falling for Maxim. Really nice move to clear himself, but just didn't get it to fall. Swain gets over to Ojala, kicks it into Thomason into Logan Landon, up off the rim, no good. So inside shots are not falling for either team right now, seems like, unless there's contact on it. The ball goes from Dow over to Bartlett. Bartlett fake pass to Maxim, puts it on the deck, puts it back out to Maxim, over to Grabowski. Grabowski dribbles around, gets it to Francis Grabowski. Up, off the backboard, and good. Got an and one. Grabowski drives and picks up a foul on Logan Landon. And Landon's going to come out. I don't know how many fouls. I haven't put it up yet. I don't know if he's picked up multiple fouls, if that's why he's coming out of the game, or if the sub was there for him. Okay. So Francis Grabowski at the line to try completing the three-point play. That shot's up, and that's good. So 26-12, 3:10 to go here in the first half at the Hinchy Gymnasium. Crosstown rivals Proctor and West Rutland playing each other. Bartlett on McCarran. Tomlinson back to Ojala, back over to McCarran. McCarran puts it on the deck, pushes it out to Ojala. Skip pass over Tomlinson. Tomlinson back to Ojala. Ojala's going to fire the three. That's wide, but Curtis Tomlinson able to grab that rebound, kicks over McCarran. McCarran's going to jack up the three. That's no good. Hits the back of the backboard and bounces out of play. This is going to allow them to set up their press, which has caused a lot of havoc for West Rutland. Get the ball in, fairly simple to Jacob Dow. Jacob Dow being checked by Nick Ojala, goes right by him, kicks it over to William Grabowski. William Grabowski for three, and that also bounces off the rim and goes up over the. So pretty firm rims in here tonight. Not getting any shooter bounces, getting really, really high bounces. Guessing that ball's got a lot of air in it. So ball's put into play, gets it to Ojala, goes back to Tomlinson. Tomlinson come back over, West Rutland staying in their zone. Fire the ball around to McCarran. McCarran drives in and draws the contact. Fouls on Grabowski, his second. And McCarran's going to go. They're now in the bonus. This will be a 1-and-1 for Gannon McCarran. Always been a really good foul shooter for the Phantoms since his 5th and 6th grade years. So first one is up. Bounces around, no good. Grabowski grabs the rebound, gets it over to Maxim. Maxim picks up his dribble, gets it back to Grabowski. Grabowski brings it up over the timeline. Being checked by Swain. Goes around Swain, goes to the basket. A lot of contact. And get a push. And McCarran is going to go back to the line. So foul goes on Bartlett. Looks like guys got tangled up and tripped and just kind of fell over him. Not what West Rutland wanted. McCarran going back. Missed the front end of the 1-and-1 last time. It's still in the 1-and-1 because that's only the 8th team foul for West Rutland this evening. Kyle Miles checked in on that last foul call for the Phantoms. That ball's up, that's no good. Long rebound goes out. And Maxim knocks it off Miles' foot. Jordan Johnson coming in, Trippier coming in. Going out of the game, Bartlett and Francis Grabowski. You got a hold on Tomlinson. So this high pressure, the Phantoms have picked up some fouls. Holding Jacob Dow, trying to get away from all the contact. Ball comes in to Jacob Dow. Jacob Dow being checked by Curtis Tomlinson right now. Forces him all the way over. Jacob Dow goes in with his left hand and just picked up the 3rd foul on Curtis Tomlinson, I believe. Oh. So they gave it to the other player that's in the vicinity. I think Curtis Thomason's a sigh of relief there. So Jacob Dow is going to go to the line, and he's shooting 2, I believe. I think they said it was in the act of shooting, so West Rutland also in the bonus at this point. Jacob Dow's stroke from the foul line has been so good for the West Rutland Golden Horde. His scoring average is up. Probably he's 8 to 10 points higher than where he's ever been in his career. He's finally decided as long as he's running the point and he's open, he's going to take his shots this year. So 13-point lead, one more for Dow. That one's up, and that one is good too. So after a slow start, they cracked down on defense a little bit and able to chip away at the lead. Lead down to 12 for the Phantoms. Ojala gets the ball over to Swain. Swain back to McCurran. McCurran back to Ojala. 3-point attempts, no good. Joe Parker rips down the rebound. McCurran steps through. Swain with a big push. And Jacob Dow comes out with that ball. Kicks over to Maxim. Maxim puts it on the deck. Nice spin move. Goes up off the glass. No good. Rebound down to Ojala. Ojala pushing it up in the front court. Just about a minute to go. McCurran for the 3-ball. That attempt is no good. Joe Parker grabs the rebound. Nick Swain lowers his shoulder, drives in. Swain lowers his shoulder, drives in, no good. Maxim with a nice block out, swats it back out to Dow. Dow kicks it over to William Grabowski. William Grabowski, nice left-handed floater. Maxim with the steal down in the post. Good hustle play by Maxim. Steve fires up the air ball. Jordan Johnson, man on the spot, grabs the rebound. 10-point lead. 30 seconds to go here in the first half. 10-point lead for the Phantoms. 16-26. Ojala puts it on the deck, drives in, and gets the runner to go. Gets the ball in to Dow. Dow is being worked by Ojala now. They're working Dow over with several different players tonight, trying to wear him out. Ojala's up on him, looking to run him off a screen. Kicks it back. McCurran goes in. And Maxim picks up the foul on McCurran. So 12-point lead, 3.6 seconds to go. McCurran at the line. Had his struggles there tonight. First one's up, and that one rattles around, no good. Caleb McLaren, senior, is going to check in for Brian Maxim, who just picked up his second foul. So 12-point lead, McCurran's got one more. .12-point lead for the Phantoms, and that one's up. So make it a 13-point lead for the Phantoms. Ojala, Dow fires it up just wide of the rim. So first half ends with the Phantoms leading by 13, 29-16 in a very frantic, fast-paced first half. We'll be back for second half action after a short break. Okay, so we're back for third quarter action. 13-point lead for the Phantoms, 29-16. Looks like they're going to come out man-to-man. Starting for the Golden Horde, Brian Maxim, Zach Trippier, Jacob Dow, Jacob Bartlett, and Francis Grabowski. On the floor for the Proctor Phantoms, Logan Landon, Kyle Miles, Nick Swain, Gannon McCurran, and Curtis Thomason. Maxim with the ball outside the three-point arc, kicks it over to Trippier. Trippier looking to work off a screen, gets it over to Grabowski. Grabowski being guarded by Thomason outside the three-point arc. Dribbles, kicks it to Maxim in the corner. Maxim comes off the ball, gets it over to Grabowski. The long three is no good. And everybody's caught up watching that rebound, fighting for the offensive rebound, and Thomason just leaks out, even a late leak out, and scores the easy layup. So Dow's with the ball in his hands. Got Gannon McCurran guarding him. You got a screen. The hedge. Jacob Dow up off the glass, no good. Logan Landon looks like he shuffles his feet, fires it up to Curtis Thomason. Thomason drives his knee into Bartlett with no call. get a 5-second call. So after the make, the pressure, get a 5-second call on the Golden Horde. Grabowski couldn't find anybody to get it into. So Miles put the ball into play. Logan Landon looking to run the screen, get it into Thomason, back to Logan Landon, up, and good. Quick timeout by Donnie Dunches. Quick explosion by the Phantoms, a quick 6 points, stretches the lead to 19. So kind of regroup here coming out of halftime. You know, West Rutland had a nice offensive possession, got the shot I think they were looking for, it doesn't fall. Battling for the rebound, lose the rebound, get a leak out by Tomlinson for an easy layup. And then 2 quick baskets after that. And the Golden Horde find themselves in a 19-point hole. They chipped it away to 10 at one point. Now it's ballooned out to 19. And the Phantoms are going to come out with their press again. With Grabowski putting the ball into play. Should be able to run the baseline because it's after a make on a basket. Throws the ball into Brian Maxim. Brian Maxim pushes the ball. Gets it out to Grabowski. Grabowski up with the 3, and it's good. So they're able to break the press that time. Miles goes for the steal. Maxim dribbles up, throws it out to Grabowski, who hits the 3. Not getting a lot of clean looks. They're closing him out. Miles in the corner, kicks it up to McKieran. McKieran over to Thomason. Thomason up fake, skips it over to Swain. Swain back to McKieran. McKieran over to Thomason. That rebound comes down to Zach Trippier. Zach Trippier gets it to Barlow, brings it up across the timeline. Kicks it to Maxim, who gets it back into Dow's hand. Crosses up McKieran, gets some distance separation, gets over to Bartlett. Bartlett looking, gets Trippier, kicks it over to Francis Grabowski, puts it on the deck, goes by McKieran, gets it over Bartlett. Bartlett with the long 3, high off the glass, no good. They're out leaking again, and Grabowski's able to get the ball on the errant pass by the Phantoms. So Grabowski gets the ball, gets it back into Dow's hand. He's going to set it up, calls out their play, gets it to Maxim in the corner. Maxim puts it on the deck. Nice little spin move on Miles. Not able to get it to go. McKieran goes the length of the court, and Grabowski smacks it down out of McKieran's hand. Hits off McKieran, goes out of bounds, but staying last touch by the Golden Horde. So inbound play. Ojala looking to throw it in, throws it into Curtis Thompson at the 3-point arc. That's wide of the mark. Comes down to Ojala. Ojala out to Swain. Swain puts it on the deck. Hesitation, gets it into Logan Landon, into the lane. Goes up and over Maxim. Gets the ball into Dow. Dow being trapped. Francis Grabowski gets the ball forward to Bartlett. Bartlett pulls it back out to Grabowski. 37-19, get the ball into Dow's hands, settle it down, 4:46 to go here in the third quarter. McKieran Garden runs him into the screen, switch to players, gets it out to Grabowski. Grabowski buries the 3, 22-37, 15-point lead for the Phantoms. Ojala brings it up across the timeline, throws it across. Zach Trippier steals the ball, and then an errant pass goes back. Nick Swain with the 3 ball, no good. Battle down there, pulled away by Tomlinson, gets it back out to Ojala. McKieran skips it over to Swain in the corner. Swain back out to McKieran, to Ojala, to McKieran. McKieran, they're looking to try to find Landon in the middle of that zone to free up some space. Ojala goes in, dumps it off to Logan Landon. He puts it up and in on the switch. And Ojala is called for a hold off the ball again. So they're arguing the fact that he was holding. And I just heard the official say that you're doing it every time. He gets it into Dow. Dow over to Grabowski. Little hand check there. No call. Gets it to Bartlett. Bartlett across to Trippier. Trippier goes up. No good. And the ball's out. Thomas got a foul on Zach Trippier.
33. Push.
So a little frantic play there. And Zach Trippier runs over Tomlinson, draws the foul. So 39-22, 17-point lead for the Phantom. Ball's kicked to the corner. Back over to Ojala, back to Fox. We just checked in on that last change of possession. Back to Fox, to McCurran. To Fox, over to Ojala. Ojala puts it on the deck. Little running jumper is good. Gets the ball in to Grabowski. Grabowski going by Tomlinson. And Curtis Tomlinson picks up the foul, going for that loose ball. Third foul on Tomlinson. Second team foul, 41-22. Get the ball into play to Maxim, and Dow brings it up across the timeline. No pressure this time. A little respite for Jacob Dow. Gets the ball to Grabowski in the corner. Grabowski getting guarded by... Nice play by Grabowski, finds Maxim cutting to the basket. The dribble drive worked perfect. 41-24. Maybe that'll get Brian Maxim going. He finally gets one to fall down in the post. Ball with Curtis Tomlinson out to McCarron. Fox puts it on the deck, dribble drive. And get Jacob Dow on a hand check as Fox was driving to the basket. That's his third. Entered the game the last time out, Jordan Johnson for the Golden Horde. Ball's thrown up top to Fox. Fox gets it to Tomlinson. Tomlinson kicks it back to Fox. Fox dribbles, gets it to McCarron. McCarron puts it on the deck, gets it back to Fox. Fox gets it into Miles. Miles kicks it out to McCarron. McCarron long on the three. Great hustle play. Gets it back to Jacob Dow. Jordan Johnson saved the ball. Jacob Dow picks some pops. Jordan Johnson, nice clear out. Picks it to Maxim. Jordan Johnson, great hustle play to get that ball back for the Golden Horde. Jacob Dow up top being guarded by McCarron. Jacob Bartlett, he's got Ojala on him now. Jordan Johnson gets over to Grabowski. Grabowski gets it to Dow. Dow kicks it to Maxim. He's got Miles guarding him. Looking to run off the screen. Got a switch. Get it to Maxim in the post. Little hook. And a lot of contact, no foul. And Tomlinson scores on the other end. Get the ball into Dow. Dow fires it over to Johnson. Johnson turns the ball over. Tomlinson brings it up across the timeline. And 30-second timeout. Back to a 19-point lead for the Phantoms. We're going to stay right here because it's a 30-second timeout. So pretty frantic quarter. 24 for West Rutland, 43 for the Phantoms. They're continuing to press. Very deep bench for the Phantoms, not so much for the Golden Horde. Golden Horde's used, I think, 3 people consistently off their bench, and the Phantoms, being the much deeper, more experienced team, has been able to run guys in and out the entire game. And coming out of this timeout, they're going to run 3 new guys in. So checking back into the game, you got Swain, Logan Landon, and Joe Parker. So ball's put into Ojala. Ojala gets it to Swain. Back to Ojala. Coming out of the timeout, West Rutland has entered William Grabowski. And Ojula goes in. Maxim is able to stuff him. Deep three by Jordan Johnson, off the window and in. Draws a smile and a huge cheer. Jordan Johnson's first basket of the night. Ojula dribbling on Dow. Dow pokes the ball away out of bounds. 43-27. Deep three by Jordan Johnson. Not normally shoots threes, he normally drives to the basket. Gets that one high off the window. Not sure if he called the bank or not. Thompson gets trapped in the corner, gets it out to Ojula. Ojula short on that attempt. Kicks it to Parker. Parker gets it to Landon. And Francis Grabowski picks up a foul as Landon's trying to go up. So that's the third on Grabowski. So Logan Landon's going to go to the line to shoot 2. First one is up, and that one's off the rim and no good. So Landon at the line to shoot his second. Shot's up, and that one is good. We get the ball into play to Dow on the handoff from Maxim. Jacob Dow dribbles up across the timeline. 8 seconds to go. Jacob Dow crosses him up. Jumper. No good. Ball's batted around. And that ball is fired. Okay, according to my cameraman, Rich Dow lost the mic for a little bit there. We're all set. Some technical difficulties. Ball comes into play to Ojula to start the fourth quarter. 44-27. The Phantoms are in the lead. Swain with the ball, kicks it to McKieran. McKieran to Swain. Swain to Ojula, gets it to Tomlinson. Tomlinson back out to Ojula, into Logan Landon. Back out to Tomlinson. That ball's up, and that's good. 3-pointer is good. They get the ball into play to Jacob Dow. Jacob Dow working against McKieran and gets it up across the timeline without much of a problem. Maxim setting a screen for Dow. Ball's kicked down into the post to Maxim. Maxim's up and long on a shot. Ojula brings the ball down. Goes down to McKieran. McKieran misses the layup. I don't know what happened there. Thompson, I don't know if he lost it on his way up. They threw a wild over-the-head shot. So Grabowski brings it up. Nice to just walk it up and rest some guys. Okay, so Grabowski's calling out the play, running up at the top of the point. Hand off to Jordan Johnson. Jordan Johnson gets it over to Maxim in the corner. Maxim puts it on the deck, kicks it in, gets it out to Johnson. Johnson kicks it over to Grabowski. And we got a timeout called by Coach Donnie Dunches. It's going to be a full timeout, so we're going to take a break because we just got started here in the fourth. Back at action here in West Rutland. It's going to be West Rutland's ball. Haven't mentioned it yet tonight. Tom Oskley, longtime usher here at West Rutland. Was an usher when I first came to work here. Was always at the door. We have an award tonight, the Tom Oskley Memorial Trophy. It goes to the winner of the West Rutland Proctor winner here in West Rutland every year. The Phantoms had it from last year's game. The Golden Horde had it for the first 2 years. With a 20-point lead for Proctor right now, West Rutland's going to have to do a lot of work here to get back into this one. So 6:28 to go, 20-point lead for the Phantoms. Swain with the ball. Swain kicks it over to Ojula. Ojula puts it on the deck. Dribble drives. And falls to the ground and draws the foul. So William Grabowski from the backside on that. Must have hit him. I didn't see him even in the play. Looked like Ojula ran into Maxim and then fell down late. So he's at the line where he's been perfect tonight. I believe that makes him 5 for 5 or 7 for 7. I'm not sure. Very good foul shooter. Gets to the line quite a bit because he dribble drives quite a bit, and he's a little guy, gets bumped around. Second one's no good. Francis Grabowski with a nice rebound. Puts the ball on the deck, goes by Tomlinson. Driving down, gets it to Grabowski. William Grabowski throws up a long three, misses everything. Comes down to Swain. Swain's pushing up across the timeline. Kicks to McKieran in the corner. McKieran back to Swain. Swain kicks it over to Ojala. Ojala up with the 3 ball, and that is good. Press is still on. Ball's thrown into play to Jacob Dow. Goes right by him. Kicks it to Grabowski in the corner. Francis Grabowski in and out. Jacob Bartlett is long on his mate or his attempt. Nick Ojala up and off the glass and good. Bartlett throws it forward to William Grabowski. Tracks it down in the corner. Gets it into Brian Maxim. And Logan Landon picks up the foul on the push. So 3 subs coming in. Fox, Miles, and Greb coming in for the Phantoms. Going out, Ojala, Landon, and McKieran. Ball's going to be put into play by William Grabowski. Gets it into Dow in the corner. Dow takes a couple dribbles. Looking to set up the play. Fox. And they've got a 5-second call, even though Dow created separation there. He apparently kept the count going, so on the 5-second call, the ball goes back to Proctor. Proctor comes up with Tomlinson, gets it to Fox. Fox over to Swain. Swain back to Tomlinson. Tomlinson fakes the shot, gets it over to Swain. Swain over to Fox. Fox puts it on the deck, gets it over to Tomlinson. Swain long on the 3-point attempt. Francis Grabowski grabs the rebound, and apparently when it came out of his hand, it last hit him. So ball's gonna be inbounded by Miles. Miles throws it up back into the backcourt to Tomlinson, who dribbles back up across the timeline, gets it over to Swain. Swain to Miles. Miles throws it back up to Fox. Fox swings it to Tomlinson. Tomlinson swings it over to Swain. Swain back to Fox. Fox dribbles into the zone, kicks it back out to Swain. Miles up with the shot, no good. William Grabowski with the rebound on the backside. 53-27, 4:32 to go in the 4th quarter. Fox guarding Dow. Dow goes up, off the glass, no good. Maxim with the rebound. Gets the rebound, spins and goes up and in. A nice finish by Maxim. Dow had a nice attempt, it just didn't fall for him. Maxim was able to grab the rebound down. Tomlinson puts up a 3. And grabs the rebound. Swain goes in. He's long on his shot. And Swain gets hit in the lane. And they get Grabowski, which is his 4th. Swain at the line. Makes his 1st. McKieran's going in for Tomlinson. Coming into the game, we got Zach Trippier and Caleb McLaren. Second one is good. And Joe Parker. Well, looks like the lead's big enough now. They're finally calling off the press with 4 minutes to go in the game.
Joe, you're up top on offense.
So Jacob Dow's just going to walk it up. No pressure. Going to pick up. Still playing man-to-man everywhere on the court. Gets it over to Bartlett. Bartlett gets it to Trippier. Trippier back out to Grabowski. Grabowski, a couple dribbles. Puts up the long 3. And it falls in. 32-55. 23-point lead for the Phantoms. McKieran with the ball. Kicks it over to Parker. Parker throws it in to Greb. Greb finishes over McLaren. Grabowski puts the ball into play to Dow. gets it over to Grabowski. Grabowski gets it to Trippier. Trippier kicks it over to Bartlett. Bartlett takes a couple dribbles, gets it poked from the backside. And last touch by the Golden Horde. I didn't think it was the way Bartlett was going after the ball. So McKieran puts the ball into Fox. They come up across the timeline, kicks it over to Parker. Parker kicks it to Fox. Fox dribbles, gets it to Parker. Parker kicks it to McKieran. McKieran gets it back to Fox. Fox takes a dribble between his legs, kicks it over to McKieran. McKieran to Parker. Parker dribble drives, kicks it back out to McKieran, over to Fox. Fox with the dribble, gets it to McKieran. Fox, big swing to Parker. Parker dribble drive, kicks it back out to Miles. Miles gets it to McKieran. McKieran to Fox. Fox launches a three, way long. Gets into Miles' hands. Skip pass across to Fox from Miles in the far corner. Fox with the ball, tries firing across. Jacob Dow anticipates it and steals it. Jacob Dow dribbles up across the timeline, kicks it over to Trippier. Trippier puts it on the deck, gives it over to Dow. Dow back to Grabowski. Grabowski dribbling ball around the top of the arc, hands it off to Bartlett. Bartlett looking to hand it off to Dow. Gets it to Dow. Dow kicks it out to McLaren. Caleb McLaren long on his three-point attempt. Kicks it out to Grabowski. Grabowski on his three-point attempt. That's way off the mark. Hits the side of the rim. And got Miles. So foul goes on Caleb McLaren, on Kyle Miles. So Miles comes out of the game, Ojala comes back in. So 1:46 to go. West Rutland is battled tough. This is a very tough team. Preseason number one in the Division 4 polls. Only loss comes to Division 2 MSJ. So they've done well for themselves. And we got a foul on Joe Parker trying to get that rebound going through Zach Trippinier's back. Only a 4-team foul on Proctor in the second half, which means they've let a lot go or they're playing really good defense. They played man defense for 12 minutes, full court press, and only picked up 14 fouls. So ball's into the front court. Francis Grabowski takes a couple dribbles, creeping up on the last minute of the contest here in West Rutland. Jacob Bartlett got the ball. He's going to fire up the three, and that goes. 35-57, minute 7 to go. Ball's thrown in the front court to Parker. Parker jump pass to Ojala. Ojala gets it over to Fox. Fox dribbling the ball. Kicks it to McKieran in the corner. McKieran up fake, goes in, gets stuffed by Caleb McLaren in the lane. Nice play by Caleb McLaren. Last 45 seconds here. Doesn't matter what the final score is going to be at this point. Golden Horde's still playing tough, working their offense, moving the ball around. Andre Greb goes for the steal on McLaren, gets it over to Dow. Dow throws it up and it's good. Got it down to a 20-point, 57-37. Proctor brings it up across the timeline. I think they'd probably just hold it, just dribble out the clock. And Jacob Dow just knocks it away from McKieran. Looks like they will just hold it and just dribble out the time. Grabowski tries going for a steal. And a little altercation there at the end. Grabowski tries going for the steal and there were some words. So at the end of the game, 57-37. Proctor Phantoms win the game by 20. You're going to stay on for the awards. West Rutland AD Joe Harrington will now present the Proctor Phantoms with the Tom Oskley Memorial Award for the winner of the West Rutland Proctor game held at Hinchy Gymnasium.
There are members of the Oskley family here. Please come together.
So we got members of the Oskley family here to actually present the award.
Again, this was the Thomas Osley Memorial Game, named after Thomas Osley, who was a big contributor to West Rutland Athletics.
So I don't know if you can pick up what Joe Harrington's saying. He's just talking about Tom Osley and all he did for basketball in West Rutland, and presenting the trophy to the 4 senior captains from the Proctor Phantom team. So that's it from West Rutland, 57-37. Proctor Phantoms with the 20-point lead. Thank you.